It starts with one thing: a new pair of sneakers, a new coffee machine, maybe a new couch. You worked hard for it, you deserve it. But then a strange thing happens. Suddenly, your old jeans look faded next to the new sneakers. Your kitchen counter seems dull next to the new machine. Your entire living room feels outdated because of that one new couch. This feeling isn't an accident, and it's not a failure of your willpower. It's a psychological phenomenon, a predictable glitch in our mental software that compels us to upgrade our entire life to match a single new possession. It's a chain reaction that, once started, can drain your bank account before you even realize what is happening. Most people are completely unaware this script is running in the background of their minds. We believe we are making isolated, rational decisions. I need new pants, I need new curtains. But these are rarely isolated events. They are often aftershocks from a previous purchase. This invisible force ensures that one purchase is never just one purchase. It's the entry ticket to a whole new set of needs you didn't have 5 minutes ago. The result is a constant feeling of being financially behind. Imagine your lifestyle as a cohesive puzzle. Each piece, your car, your clothes, your furniture, fits together. When you introduce one piece that is dramatically shinier or more expensive, it no longer fits. Your brain, seeking consistency and order, rebels against this mismatch. It creates an intense psychological urge to replace the surrounding pieces so the puzzle becomes whole again, but at a much higher cost. But why does this happen? The answer lies not in a modern marketing textbook, but in the story of an 18th century French philosopher and a beautiful scarlet dressing gown. This story holds the key to understanding the invisible force that dictates so many of our spending habits today. It reveals the original sin of consumer culture, a trap that is now amplified 1,000 times over by our modern world. In 1765, the philosopher Denis Diderot received a gift, a beautiful, elegant scarlet dressing gown. He was overjoyed. His old gown was worn and tattered, but his joy quickly turned to despair. His new gown was magnificent, a work of art. And when he wore it, he realized that everything else in his study suddenly looked cheap and out of place. His desk, his chair, his tapestries, they were all part of his old life, the life of the tattered robe. They did not belong in the world of the magnificent scarlet gown. He wrote, "There was no more coordination, no more unity, no more beauty between his robe and the rest of his things." This disharmony created a deep psychological discomfort. He had to fix it. He had to restore the unity, and so the great spiral began. He replaced his old straw chair with a leather one. His old wooden desk was replaced with a more expensive model. He bought new sculptures, a new mirror. One by one, he replaced his modest possessions with luxurious items that were worthy of his new gown. By the end, he was surrounded by luxury, but he was also deep in debt. Diderot's story gave name to this phenomenon, the Diderot effect. It states that obtaining a new possession that deviates from your current possessions can create a spiral of consumption that leads you to acquire more new things. Your brain seeks coherence. When one item raises the standard, an internal pressure builds to raise the standard of everything else to match it. It is the enemy of thrift. This isn't about buying things you need. It is about curation. We are not just buying a product, we are buying an identity. A new high-end phone makes you feel like a tech person, so you need the premium headphones and the smartwatch to complete the identity. A new yoga mat makes you a wellness person, so you need the designer leggings and organic smoothies. Diderot was trapped by a single dressing gown. Today, we are surrounded by an infinite number of digital dressing gowns, each one targeted directly at our insecurities and aspirations. The trap he fell into by accident is now a multi-billion-dollar industry. And the tools they use to spring this trap on you are far more sophisticated than a simple piece of clothing. The modern world has weaponized the Diderot effect. Every time you browse online, algorithms are tracking your behavior, building a psychological profile, and identifying your scarlet gown. That one item that, if you buy it, will trigger the cascade. They know that if you buy the premium running shoes, you will soon be a customer for the GPS watch, the compression socks, and the hydration pack. Think about the complete the look, or frequently bought together, sections on retail websites. These are not helpful suggestions. They are Diderot effect engines. They are designed to create the feeling of disharmony that Diderot felt. They show you that your new shirt is lonely and incomplete without the matching pants and the perfect belt. They manufacture the problem and sell you the solution in the same breath. Social media is perhaps the most powerful driver of this effect. Every post is a potential scarlet gown. You see a friend's perfectly renovated kitchen, and suddenly your own kitchen feels inadequate. You see an influencer's vacation photos, and your own life feels dull. You are not just seeing their life. You are being presented with a curated, cohesive look that makes your own reality feel fragmented and in need of an upgrade. This creates a state of perpetual dissatisfaction. The goalposts are always moving. As soon as you finish upgrading your life to match your last major purchase, a new scarlet gown appears on your feed, and the cycle begins anew. It is a game you cannot win, because the game is designed to never end. Its only purpose is to keep you spending by constantly creating new forms of psychological discomfort. The result is lifestyle inflation that feels natural but is actually engineered. Your income increases, but you never feel richer because your standard of normal is constantly being dragged upwards by these consumption spirals. The gap between what you have and what you want never closes. This is the mechanism that keeps hardworking people feeling perpetually broke, trapped in a cycle of earning more, only to spend more. So if this powerful psychological force is working against us and is amplified by modern technology, how do we fight back? How do we break the chain reaction and regain control? The solution is not to live like a monk and own nothing. The solution is to become aware of the game and to consciously choose which games you want to play, using simple but powerful mental rules. The first and most powerful tool is to create friction. The Diderot effect thrives on impulsive, emotional decisions. The antidote is time. Implement a mandatory cooling-off period for any non-essential purchase over a certain amount, say $50. Wait 48 hours. This short delay allows the emotional high of desire to fade and your logical brain to come back online. You will be amazed how many needs simply evaporate when exposed to time. Second, analyze the chain before you buy the first link. Before making a significant purchase, ask yourself, what else will this make me want to buy? Will these new speakers make me want a new TV? Will this designer bag make me feel like I need new shoes and a new coat? By consciously mapping out the potential spiral ahead of time, you can see the true cost of the item, not just its price tag. Third, practice the one-in, one-out rule, especially for categories where you tend to overspend, like clothes or gadgets. If you buy a new shirt, an old one must be donated or discarded. This forces you to think of your possessions as a curated collection, not an ever-expanding pile. It short-circuits the spiral by preventing the total number of items from growing, maintaining equilibrium instead of escalating. Fourth, curate your information diet. Unfollow accounts that consistently trigger feelings of inadequacy or desire. Mute keywords related to tempting products. You cannot be tempted by a scarlet gown you never see. The Diderot effect begins with a cue. By consciously reducing your exposure to these cues, you are not exercising willpower. You are removing the need for it in the first place. It is a much easier and more effective strategy. Finally, set clear goals for your money that are more exciting than buying new things. When you have a compelling reason to save, like a travel fund, an investment goal, or a down payment, it becomes easier to say no to the consumption spiral. Every dollar you do not spend on the matching chair is a dollar you can allocate to something that truly matters to you. Your goal becomes your new scarlet gown. By understanding the Diderot effect, you have disarmed a major source of financial leakage. You can now see the hidden script and choose not to follow it. This gives you control over your spending and allows you to finally align it with your values. But stopping the leaks is only half the battle. Once you have saved this money, you face an entirely different and arguably more powerful psychological enemy: the fear of losing it. Today, we have revealed one of the most powerful, invisible scripts in personal finance. The Diderot effect is the reason why one small purchase can lead to a cascade of spending that leaves you wondering where your money went. It is your brain's desire for cohesion being exploited by a world that profits from your dissatisfaction. Now you can see it and you can control it. The key takeaway is this: your spending habits are not random. They are driven by deep-seated psychological triggers. By understanding these triggers, you move from being a passenger to being the pilot of your financial life. You can now pause before a purchase and ask the critical question: am I buying this because I need it, or because my last purchase is making me feel like I do? You now possess the tools to stop the uncontrolled financial drains and start accumulating capital intentionally. You can break the cycle of lifestyle inflation and finally see your savings account reflect your hard work. This is a monumental step towards financial peace. But as your savings grow, a new challenge emerges. The challenge is no longer about spending, but about risk. Now that you are successfully saving money, the next logical step is to make that money work for you through investing. But this is where an even more primitive part of your brain takes over. A feature of your mind's ancient operating system makes the pain of losing a dollar feel twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining a dollar. This is not a metaphor. It is a neurological fact. This psychological bias, known as loss aversion, is the hidden force that makes you fixate on the one red stock in your portfolio while ignoring 10 green ones. It is why people sell winning investments too early and hold on to losing ones for too long. Overcoming the Diderot effect helps you save money, but mastering loss aversion is what allows you to build true, long-term wealth. To understand the evolutionary reason behind this powerful bias and learn the mental models required to overcome it, you need to see the next video. It will give you the framework for making rational investment decisions in the face of emotional fear. Click the video you see on the screen right now to take the next step in mastering your financial psychology.